We're in this mess because society has lost sight of what's most important. What matters most to me is my faith and my family. And I know I'm not the only one who believes that way. So we're joining together as God-fearing men and women to take the light into the darkness.
I just killed the biggest buck of my life. And he is laying right over there. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Before we get to that, there's a whole lot of story that needs to be told.
Back in 2012, I had just acquired a new property, and I was excited to get out and see what kind of deer were on the place. And man, it didn't take long for some great bucks to start showing up. One buck in particular started showing up, and I wasn't really sure on the deer's age, but I knew if he gave me an opportunity, I was probably going to take a shot at him. After numerous encounters with this buck, I had made a decision I wanted to try to take him. And with Joe Dansby by my side, we got the encounter we were hoping for. We get settled into the ground blind and everything's going as planned, and it was our first year filming. We had some confusion, and I skip an arrow right off of his back. After the miss in 2012, we didn't see him again. The following year, this guy showed back up, and he had really put some mass on. But he went completely nocturnal, and in 2013, I did not have a single opportunity to take him. About halfway through the year, we stopped getting pictures of him, and I didn't know what had happened to him. I didn't know if one of the neighbors had shot him or he'd been hit by a car. But we kept putting our buck blitz out, and lo and behold, we find his sheds in the spring, and he's still alive.
If you bow hunt long enough, you're going to have misses. It's just part of it, but Jason's not finished with this buck.
In the spring of 2014, knowing that he was alive, we really put a lot of extra time into the property. Really improved our food plots, put in spring plots, and really tried to add some mass to that deer. September the 17th, and I'm just trying to get some last minute food plots put in this year. We've got rain moving in this weekend, and it's really a hot day, but you can't tell it because I'm inside the cab of this new Kubota tractor that I got from Great Plains Kubota. It's the first year I've been able to use nice equipment like this, and man, it sure makes it a lot easier for putting in these food plots. In Oklahoma, we have to battle hogs continually on our properties. Late in the summer, I start getting a picture of a huge boar, and he's just wrecking havoc. He's running the deer off, and I knew I had to get something done about him.
So Jason calls me up and says, this big boar is running off all my deer, but I think I've got him patterned. I think I can get him down. Will you come run camera? And I said, hey man, no problem, I'll be there.
Brad comes down, we set up on a food plot where we've been getting pictures of this guy, and he didn't come out, so we start kind of walking down some of our trails, and before you know it, we are face to face with this guy, and he is upset.
Well, things got western pretty quick. I got the camera on just in time to start backpedaling and see Jason pump this hog with a couple rounds of the heavy shot hog wild and get out of the way, but they did exactly what they're supposed to do.
Those heavy shot hog wild dropped that hammer on him. Wow. Look at the cutters on that hog's teeth sticking up right there. Look at those cutters. What an incredible hog.
We've been getting quite a few pictures of this hog at our feeders throughout the first part of the season here. It's been running our deer off and you know, just been really messing things up for us. So super happy that we've been able to come out here and kill this hog and get this thing out of the way so that our deer can come back in and things can go back to normal.
With that big boar out of the way, this buck starts coming back around and he started getting a bunch of pictures of him, but he still hadn't laid eyes on him in nearly 3 years. But all that changed on a warm day in mid-October.
I haven't physically laid eyes on this buck in 3 years. I get home late from work one day, mid-October, and contemplated going out and setting out, talked myself out of it a couple times, but decided to go ahead and do it. I don't even get fully set down in my tree stand, and I lay eyes on this guy.
Literally just got up in this stand. I hadn't been here 30 seconds. I didn't even have time to get my bow up yet. And had a huge buck standing broadside about 200 yards out, just staring right at me. It's not even 3 o'clock in the afternoon yet. We just got up here early in the day, hoping that we could get something to come out on this field later this afternoon. But man, I had no idea I would see him.
Well, to Jason's credit, he never pushes this buck. I mean, he never goes in with a questionable wind, and he has to have a north wind to go in and hunt this buck. And gun season rolls around in Oklahoma. North wind has arrived, and Jason's hoping that this will be his opportunity to get him on the ground.
On the morning of November the 25th, I knew the wind was right and all I needed was a doe to show up, and that's exactly what happened. So right at first light, I look up and he has walked over a little knoll with a doe and was staring right at me. I knew I didn't have much time, so I slowly got the night up into position to squeeze the trigger.
I just killed the biggest buck of my life. And he is laying right over there. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. This has been a long time coming. He's right there. Right there. First of all, I just want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to harvest this deer. I've hunted him so hard over the last 3 years and a lot of hours away from my family, and I'm just glad that I have a wife that allows me to do this. We started out as a split G2 9-pointer 3 years ago, maybe 140 inches, nothing great, and I would have never guessed he would have turned into this.
When I missed the buck 3 years ago, I was heartbroken, but that ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Satan, your kingdom must come down.
I would have been happy with a mid-140s 9-point. Most guys would. But that miss allowed this buck to become a buck of a lifetime.
Kingdom must come down.
Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope."
We're gonna pray until they take kingdom down. We're gonna pray until they take kingdom down.
In life, so many times, we want to settle for what we feel is best. We make our plans and our goals, but God has a plan for our lives, and His plan is always better. So maybe today you're struggling with trusting God. I want you to know He knows best. He has a plan, even if it seems like He doesn't.
We're gonna shout until they take kingdom down.
I had no clue this buck would turn into a giant, and I had no clue God's plan for all of this. But I'm so thankful for unanswered prayers, and knowing God's plan is always better than my own.
Your kingdom must come down.
Maybe today you've never given your life to Christ. If we can help you come to know Christ or come back to Him, go to our website and shoot us an email, or go to Facebook and send us a message. God's ways are always better. See you next week.